Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have an everyday makeup routine video for you guys. After my last video, I did a poll on Instagram and I asked what you would like to see next, and I got so many people that said they wanted to see makeup tutorials, makeup. I also had a lot of clients this week who gave me feedback from the first video, so they loved it and they are excited to see makeup videos. So obviously you guys really want to see makeup, so that's what I'm doing today for you guys. I did use a lot of drugstore products. A lot of you said that you love the fact that I included that in. I do use high-end, I do use drugstore, so I thought for this tutorial I would try to include as much drugstore as possible so that this look was really accessible to or achievable for a lot of you guys. So I hope that you like that. Also, this is not like a minimalistic makeup look. This is not a super natural makeup routine. This is just how I do my makeup on a day-to-day basis. And that's what a lot of you wanted to see. So if you have any other makeup requests or any other videos in general, go ahead and leave them in the box, in the comments below. I will link everything that I used in this video for you guys as well. So if you want to purchase it, you can go ahead and it'll be easily down there for you guys. I also want to mention that I filmed this entire tutorial on my iPhone. So let me know what you think. I have the 11 Pro. My boyfriend was like, you need to film on your iPhone. It's better quality. I'm telling you, just trust me. And I'm like, fine. So I'm testing it out today. Let me know what you think. If you guys like it, then I'm going to keep using my iPhone. I do have a Canon 70D, so it's a really good camera, but I got it a few years ago, so there's definitely better ones on the market now, and the iPhone shoots in 4K, so I'm going to try this out. Let me know what you think. But anyways, let's get into the video. I hope that you guys enjoy it, and yeah, I'm gonna first go in with my primer, which is my Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer. That's what I'm gonna be using today, and I'm just gonna use like a small amount, something like that, and I'm gonna basically put it mainly first like on my T-zone area, which is where I have the biggest pores. And my skin's a little red right now because I just did like this pore cleansing thing that I do for my skin. So I'm going to go in today with my beauty blender to apply my foundation, and the foundation that I'm using is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. Now if you've never tried this, go ahead and try it because it's awesome. So I'm gonna just like pump out some on the back of my hand here. I usually use 3 pumps. I actually got a lot of feedback from my first video, and everyone really like loved the fact that I mentioned a lot of drugstore products, and I realized that the foundation that I mentioned in my favorites, I honestly bought it so long ago that I forgot, but it's like $70, which buy. So I wanted to give you guys a few like more drugstore options because you guys really seemed to like that I included that, and I love drugstore stuff, like, so you know. So I'm just gonna bounce this all over my face. And you can go over your eyelids if you want, but because I'm using a primer, I'm gonna kind of skip that part. I was actually at the drugstore. I went to Walgreens last night, and I picked up a few things to try. So we'll see how that goes. For concealer, I wanted to give you guys another good drugstore one. Today I'm going to be using this one because I like it. It's almost gone, so I really need to twist it. I like when all the concealer literally like starts coming out. I'm like, yes. I don't like natural concealer. I don't see the point in it. For me, I do have like discoloration under my eyes, but for me it's more like I feel like my under eyes are like kind of hollow. So I really like to try to cover that as much as I possibly can. And usually I'll also highlight different parts of my face as well. So like my forehead and my nose and my mouth area, anything I want to basically stand out. So I'm going to use the little end of the beauty blender, and I'm just going to pat that in. And now I'm going to apply my eyeshadow primer because if I don't do it now, I'll forget. So this is what I talked about in my November favorites. It's the Milani eyeshadow primer, and you really just need a tiny bit. I always get way too much like this. I probably need half of that amount, but it's fine. So I'm gonna put this on my eyelid. The next step is going to be to set our under eyes first, and to do that I usually will use the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I've tried a ton and it's still one that I go back to and one that I love, but I'm literally out of it, so I need to get more of that. I found this one at Walgreens and it's called Covergirl Advanced Radiance, and it's just like a pressed powder, but it's supposed to have like a little bit of like a glow to it. Before I set my under eyes, I always go back with my finger and kind of like tap everything out just to make sure that nothing's settled. I'm going to be using this little Real Techniques brush to set my under eye, and I'm just going to get a little bit of that powder on here, and I'm going to look up and I'm just going to set it. In my T-zone, I always will continue with this brush and kind of pack on some powder because my T-zone tends to get oily, so that will help me out in that department. And then I'm just gonna take a brush and I'm just gonna put a light dusting of this on my face.
The lighting is better.
Why open that window?
But just everything in general is better.
Okay. Literally, you're never gonna guess what just happened. FedEx was dropping off packages and they hit our house, so that's cool. They like took some brick off the house and they dented the garage doors. I'm using another thing that was in my November favorites, which is the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. I'm using the color Deep Bronzer. So I'm gonna start with doing it here. I kind of just literally do it like right from the top of my ear, kind of like in this line, and I do it in little circular motions. Instead of going back and forth, I do like circular motions because that helps me blend it out the best. And I just kind of like go like this, and that way I have like a really nice blended contour look. And then I'll do these fast circles like this, and I'm gonna put some around my temples. I think contouring my face probably takes the longest for me because I'm like a very OCD person, so I'll keep going until I feel like everything looks the way I want it to. And when I just have my contour on and nothing else on, like no blush, highlighter, it like tends to look a little crazy. But once everything is in there, you'll see how much it really like blends itself out. And then I also will contour my nose. If you're wondering, this is the Morphe R5 brush. It's kind of just like this pointed dome brush, but any like smaller brush would work really well for a contour. So to do the contour on my nose, I'm just taking this little Anastasia brush, and basically I'm gonna start like from where my eyebrow is here. And I have like a very big divot here, so I don't really wanna go crazy. But I just kind of come down on the side of my nose here.
And you're gonna see that it looks crazy. I do this every day because, I don't hate my nose. I know that my nose isn't that bad, but I just like how it looks whenever I can define it a little bit more. So I'm gonna do that, and then I always like to come around the tip too, just to make it look kind of like, I don't know, shorter or something. Okay.
So once I have that, I'll go back in with my regular contour brush. I just kind of like go like this on my hand to get the excess off. And then I'll just kind of go down like this, like really fast to blend it out so it doesn't look crazy. And it's gonna look crazy until you put some highlight in the middle, and then it won't look so stripey. And I'm just gonna go over with my powder brush and do the same thing just to really diffuse it out. I also go over the rest of my face, back with my powder brush with nothing more on it, just to kind of blend everything out. Now, okay, so for blush, I'm gonna go with this Milani Baked Blush in Dolce Pink. They have so many different colors in these baked blushes. Basically gonna put this on the apples of my cheek primarily, and then I'm going to kind of blend it backwards. Sorry, she's gonna play with her toy. It's okay. I also like to put a little bit on my nose, just at the tip. And then I'll just kind of quickly do that. Now I go back with my, yes. I go back with my powder brush and I go over again. So basically every step that I do, I go back with my powder brush to do circular motions and blend it into my skin because I like everything to look super blended. Next thing is going to be highlight. And this is a highlighter that from the drugstore that is actually really good. It's by Maybelline. It's called Master Chrome and it's in the color Rose Gold. So it looks like this, and when it swatches like this. So it's a really pretty rose gold color. I'm gonna tap it in there, tap out the excess, and literally go right on my cheekbone here. And I go in like little circular motions. Take it up here. Oh, I love highlight. Go under my brow a little bit. Go down the center of my nose. Now, I always have to be careful with this because sometimes I go a little much. Yes, and then my cupid's bow. My boyfriend's like, why do you highlight right there? But like, you can see it just really makes your lips stand out. And then I'm gonna put just a little bit in the center of my forehead. I don't wanna put a ton because, you know. Oh, hello! Oh, she's beautiful. She's a precious. Okay, so then I'm gonna go back over with my powder brush, blend this out like that. But a little bit goes a long way. So if you like a subtle highlight, just barely tap your brush in it. If you like a lot of highlight, then layer it up like this. So my next thing is going to be to set my face. Now I love the NYX Dewy Finish setting spray. I always shake it up, I don't know why. And then I'm gonna spray. Then I take my eyebrow brush and I brush through my hairs because I feel like that, what are these hairs doing? That wets my eyebrow hairs, and then I brush it through to get any powder or foundation out of my eyebrow hairs. I've been loving the Instant Lift Brow Pencil by e.l.f. It's $2 and it's kind of like chunkier. And I'm using the color taupe right now just because I have so much eyebrow hair. My brows are so dark that with all this blonde in my hair, I feel like if I use dark brown, it just looks too crazy. So really what I use it for is to just kind of fill in like some gaps. Let me go let her out because she's losing her mind. Luckily, I have a lot of eyebrow hair, so I don't need to do too much to them. And I like to keep them looking really fluffy as much as I can. And I feel like once you start putting on a lot of pencil, it kind of takes that away. So really what I do is I'll come in here where my arch is and I just kind of fill that in a little bit. I just do like little tiny, I don't know what you would call this, movements or whatever. And I come in around my arch. Then I come in just a little bit at the ends here. I take the spolient and I brush it out so that it kind of takes out some of the product. And then I will kind of like just gently fill through here a little bit. Just like that. Come under here at the bottom a little bit. I just kind of like add a little bit through here, through the bottom. But then I take this and I brush most of it out. So that's pretty much all I do, honestly, on a day-to-day basis. Like, and I'll go through and I'll just kind of like take my fingers and go like this. I want my brows to look as natural as possible. So I really like to play up that hair that I have. But I use this Almay Brow Styler, extra off. And I start in the middle of my eyebrow to get some off. Then I'll go back to the front and I just kind of brush up my hair. But I love, this holds really well and it honestly like because the brush is so skinny, it coats like every single hair, so you can really get that kind of like fluffy kind of look. Then I'll go back to this little brush and I will kind of like manipulate those hairs to go where I want them, and I like these hairs to stick out a little bit. If you like the Anastasia Soft Glam palette, or if you've ever seen it, it looks like this. So it has just all of these really nice kind of like warm tones in it, which I love. So this is very much like a everyday palette that I would use, and I've gotten, obviously because it looks like it's been through hell and back, I've gotten a lot of use out of this. But I would say a dupe for it honestly is the Revlon 930 Maverick. So it looks like this. It's a really little palette, but if you look at them, they honestly have the same kind of tones in them. There's obviously not as many shades, but they're really similar, right? So because I know not everyone wants to go out and spend this much, and I will in my channel use higher end products, but I kind of want this to be a very like achievable look for everyone. So because I know not everyone wants to go out and spend the money on this, which honestly you'll get use out of it, I'm going to use this Revlon one because the payoff of these shadows are really good. If I don't like something or I don't believe in something, I would never tell you to get it. But honestly, look at that. They're so good. Yeah. I'm going to start off with just like a fluffy eyeshadow brush. I'm going to actually use the same one I used for my contour. So brushes are really important whenever you're doing eyeshadow. If you don't have the right brushes, it's not going to come out right. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take it and I'm going to take like a flatter one. So this is kind of like a flat brush. I'm going to take this kind of light color in the palette over here, and I'm just going to gently kind of like put that under my brow bone just to give me a little bit of lightness under there. I already put my highlight under there, but I like to kind of go in just like another kind of light layer. Then I'm going to take this fluffy brush and I'm going to go into this kind of like brownie, this one right here, like a brown orange color for the crease. Now these colors are very pigmented, so you only need a little bit, tap it off, and then start in your crease. See how much pigment it has? So on a day-to-day basis, usually what I'll do is I will just do something very minimal on my eyes. So I'll start with just like a medium brown in my crease. And I kind of just first, I'll lay that down. So I'll take something like this and I'll just use it to go around the edges and blend those out. You can also, since it's right here, take a dip of your face powder, get a lot of it off, and just kind of go in to soften those edges. Now, on a lot of days, like I would probably leave it at this intensity and kind of move on with my life. But I'm going to build up a little bit more color today. So first I'm going to take that same color that we just used and I'm going to throw it underneath. I like my eyeshadow to come down pretty far, honestly. So if you don't take it down this far. So I just kind of zoomed in for you guys so you can maybe see a little bit closer. So I'm going to go back. I just dropped my fluffy brush. I'm going to go back to this smaller fluffy brush. And I'm going to go into, do I want red or purple? Let's go to this purple one here. And I'm going to just get a little bit on my brush. I'm going to go in and build that up in my crease. Just kind of very slightly. I'm going back and forth. They would call this windshield wiper motions. Also little circles to blend it out. And I don't want this to be super intense, so I'm just kind of putting a little bit in my crease to layer that in, make it a little bit more intense. I'm gonna take my bigger fluffy brush again, and I'm going to go back over the whole thing, just with nothing on my brush, just to kind of blend it out. And you can see how this gives me a really diffused look, and you can see how that really, that extra color in there gave me just a little bit more depth. It's not perfect, it's not like crazy intense, it's just giving us a little bit of something. And then I'm gonna take this brush again with a little bit of that purple for the bottom line. So I'm just gonna smudge that under there. You can even take your finger and kind of go back and forth. There. If you wanted to do something a little bit more crazy, you could do this one. I'm gonna go into this gold one here, get a little bit on my finger, and just use my finger and press it right on my lid. I don't like my lids on a day-to-day basis to be like too crazy. So I'm gonna take my fluffy brush, go back over it to blend it in. And then I'm gonna take the highlighter that we used, on our face. And I'm gonna take my pinky, put it in there. I love doing this. I have to do this every day. If I don't have this part on my face, I just feel like something's wrong. So I'm gonna put it right, okay, honey, let's calm down there. That was a lot. Right in my inner corner, tap it in, and then also kind of like blend it inwards a little bit. So it just gives me a little bit of like a pop in there. To me, I love that because it opens up my eyes. Now you can see the highlight and everything. Yes, honey. So I'm gonna do the other eye and then come back. So the next step I do is eyeliner. And all I do, I'm gonna be using this one, it's e.l.f. And all I do is put a little flick at the side corner of my eye. Like that. That's literally all I do. If I'm doing like crazy makeup, yeah, maybe I'll do a wing, but I just like it because it kind of draws out my eyes. Just like I talked about my favorites, I'm gonna be using my Dior primer. It is awesome, I love it. I'm gonna also be using with it my Covergirl Exhabitionist, yes, closed mascara. Looks like that. Okay, so this is how I do my lashes. Okay, so take the primer. I have really long lower lashes, so I don't put a lot of primer on the bottom. I try to put a lot more on the top so they balance out. I don't really wear fake eyelashes a lot anymore, like on a day-to-day basis to work, just because I just don't. But if you do wear lashes, obviously add that into this step. So I just coat my lashes really well with this. And then I go straight into the mascara while this is wet. And I start putting that on. I kind of wiggle it. I'll also blink into it. And honestly, I probably do a minimum of like 4 coats. I just keep going and going and going because I like my eyelashes to look not clumpy, because obviously that's not cute, but I like them to look like they're there. I love lashes. If I like felt like it, I would wear lashes every day, but I don't feel like it honestly on a day-to-day basis. So I'm gonna keep it really simple for lips. So I'm gonna start out with this lip liner by Jordana Cosmetics. It's called Tawny. And I'm gonna use this to just line my lips. Get into your corners. To make everything last longer, I'm just gonna fill it in. Just like messily, doesn't have to be anything crazy. I can't find a drugstore gloss at the moment, so I'm gonna be using this one. It's one of my favorite ones by Fenty, and it's just the original Fenty Glow. I'm putting that over it. And that's it. I love it. I love this color. Especially with that lip liner, it's so pretty. So I'm just going to show you a little trick. Put your finger in your mouth like that, and it gets whatever is on the inside of your lips so that it won't go in your teeth. So now the very last thing I'm gonna do, or the last couple of things I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna take my eyebrow brush with my little spoolie, and I'm just gonna go over if I got any little areas, any little spots of mascara on my lid. Because it is dried down, it will flake right off now. I'm just gonna do this like kind of messily. Okay. Then take your brush, go like this. For me, this is like an everyday look. It's not the most natural look, but this is how I do it. And I get a lot of questions on it. So yeah, I'm gonna do one more quick spray of this setting spray. Okay guys, so that is the finished makeup look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Go ahead and make sure you subscribe, share this video with a friend so we can get my channel out there, and make sure you turn on the bell notification if you're interested in being notified whenever I upload. Thank you so much for watching if you got this far, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.